High Pro Professional is one of 6 products in a family of foods we produce that is naturally formulated utilizing multiple protein sources, including beef, pork, chicken, and fish. Each of these foods contains what we call the VX Advantage, which is a proprietary blend of prebiotics, probiotics, postbiotics, as well as vitamins and organic trace minerals. We're one of very few companies that incorporates selenium yeast as the sole source of added selenium. These ingredients work together to promote healthy digestion and a strong immune system. Controlled minerals, including guaranteed maximums on calcium, is a cornerstone of all Next Level products. Our lab is second to none as we test all incoming meats, as well as every lot of finished kibble for all minerals, including heavy metals. I don't think there is another company in the United States that takes food quality to this level. High Pro Professional is a nutrient-dense food that contains a very popular nutrient profile of 26% protein, 18% fat, and 4.5% fiber that provides 395 calories per cup, fueling the needs of active dogs and puppies. The omega-3 to 6 ratio of just under 1 to 5 supports a beautiful, healthy skin and coat. High Pro Professional is formulated for all life stages, including large and small breed puppies, lactating females, and adult males. The Professional got its name as it is the food of choice for professional dog breeders and kennels, as it is one food that can be fed to the entire kennel. Many hunters of young, growing, active dogs choose this food during training and hunting season. I'm Scott, and this is Vega. I'm the co-founder and chairman of Next Level Pet Food. If you have any questions about any of our products, go to our website, online chat, phone call, email. Let us know. We'd love to hear from you. Really do appreciate your consideration and business.
Welcome to Afton, Wyoming, where every season brings something worth seeing. In summer, take a short hike to the world's largest intermittent spring, the same spring that feeds the town's drinking water. Whether you're hiking, fishing, or riding ATVs, the trails are open and waiting. In town, stop by local shops and museums, tee off at the golf course, or grab a bite with a family after a day outside. Summer's full of events like the Mountain State Stock Dog Nationals, and Afton knows how to host. In fall, the valley lights up with color. Walk the trail to the Star, fish in our waters, or head out with a local outfitter for a day of hunting. And when winter hits, it shows up in full. We've got groomed ski trails, snowmobiling routes, and fresh powder in every direction. Skate at Starview Park or just explore the quiet that snow brings. Afton doesn't change with the seasons. It just shows a different side of itself, and everyone's worth seeing. Plan your year-round adventures at visitaftonwyoming.com. It's a long haul to Afton, but for folks like Irby and Jerry, the National Stock Dog Finals are worth it.
Yeah, they do it right. They have good people running it, and they always have good cattle. And then it's kind of a vacation. We just like to come up here and enjoy the area.
We came, what, 1,200 miles?
12, 13, it takes us 3 days to get here, but it's worth it.
Catch Irby and Jerry and more in Afton, Wyoming for the Mountain State Stock Dog Association Finals. 10 years in and the largest in the country.
Making sure your pets get the nutrition they need to live long, happy lives? That's what we do best. With our special blends of quality ingredients, you can count on us for the pets counting on you. After all, being the best pet parent ever is what you do best.
Your dogs deserve the best, so give them the best with our stock of Nutrena Loyal Life pet food. In every bag, there's wholesome nutrition that's free of corn, wheat, and soy, added digestive support with prebiotics and probiotics, and special ingredients to optimize your pup's immune strength, mobility, and overall health. Get the best for your dogs with Nutrena Loyal Life pet food.
From playful pups to cuddly kittens, Loyal Life Super Premium Pet Food makes it easy to choose the product that's just right for your pet's life stage. Every pet has their own special nutritional needs, and we've got the super premium option your family's best friend deserves.
Thank you, Charlie. Thanks, Rocky. Thanks, Cooper. You too, Toby and Jody and Daisy and Sadie and Gracie. Your loyalty means everything to us, which is why we perfected the recipes behind our food and included special support for mobility and immunity. Find premium nutrition near you at NutrenaWorld.com/loyallife. Nutrena, what's inside counts.
We are so excited to launch our new line of super premium pet foods. We built it with passion and purpose, with everything we have, to create science-driven, balanced nutrition that makes a real difference in an animal's health. How do we know this? Because we've done it before. Now we're doing it even better. We've created truly next-level formulas. We choose our ingredients based on what's naturally important in an animal's diet. Our omega-3s are higher, our calcium levels are controlled, our palatability is greater, and our consistency is hands down superior. We've built our manufacturing facility from the ground up, the right way, to guarantee we'll deliver the very best quality food possible. And we'll do it consistently from bag to bag. We've brought together an expert team, folks who share our passion, who all know what they're doing because they've done it before. We make food your animal wants, with nutrition their whole body needs. That's next level pet nutrition. Next level. Science is in the bag.
Your relationship is built on trust. Your buddy is with you for work and play from sunup to sundown. And you can trust Nutrena True to deliver nutrient-packed formulas for active dogs like yours. Each bite is TruMune powered for immunity and mobility support, and with support for digestion plus joint, skin, and coat health, trust that they're always protected from the inside out. Find high-quality, hard-working nutrition near you at NutrenaWorld.com/NutrenaTrue. Nutrena, what's inside counts.
For Lorena from Idaho, the National Stock Dog Finals are about good people, fair runs, and a reason to come back year after year.
It's just a big family, So it's always fun to come visit with friends. But then the competition, Steve works really, really hard to have even cattle, so the competition feels pretty doggone fair as it can be.
Catch Lorena and more in Afton, Wyoming at the Mountain State Stock Dog Association Finals. 10 years in and the largest in the country. For the Harris family, working dogs in Oregon is a way of life. But in Afton, at the National Stock Dog Finals, they found a second home.
First year I showed at finals, when I walked in that arena, and it felt like somewhere that I could go and have lots of fun and work my dog and be open.
You won't find a person that won't help you out or tell you a good job or, give you a piece of advice.
Catch Carter and Josh in Afton, Wyoming for the Mountain State Stock Dog Association Finals. 10 years in and the largest in the country. Bring your dog.
Okay, after a really quick break, we are back. We are going to start the Nursery Sheep Round 2. Brian Jacobs and Beth. So the course is going to be the same as the Open. They've opened up a little bit of some of the obstacles, and they've put a wing on this number 5. So same rules apply. The handler must stay inside that number 5 box. Gets him through the fetch. Gets him through 2. This number 3 is a little bit wider than it was in the Open. That gave him a lot of grief. Oh, look at that. 3 is going to be no issue. So, the way that this is flowing, this could be, you can make up some pretty fast times. Number 4. Again, this pen should be a little bit, they do have a wing to kind of use. Gives them a little bit more leverage to get them to push into that number 5 box. There, he's going to get him pinned. So again, all we're going to have to do is just pin them, and his time will stop when the gate shuts. Full points.
Nice way to start our nursery class off. That was Brian Jacobs and Beth with a total time of total points of 270 and a time of 230. We're going to go with
230.
Annie Reynolds and Bright, Ray and Stick on deck, James and Rum.
So yeah, this course, it can be pretty dang fast. That number 3 was giving us a bobble because it was a little bit narrower, but where that's opened up, if you can bring them out of number 3 and bring them across to number 4.
Who was looking for Gilberto? So were you not at the Hammers meeting for this? When I get done, when Tina gets back, I'll explain the course.
So I believe the nursery cattle is finishing up in the ultimate field. We finished round 2 of open sheep. So look, later today we'll have the results of that and to see who's coming back for the, oh, that doggy tried to go through the panel. Nice job through 1.
So I'll tell you, that was, so Gilberto, 1, 2 is counterclockwise.
Nice job through 2.
3, you enter at the 3, exit at pink. 4, you enter at 4, exit at pink. Okay? As soon as you're done with 4, you can...
It might give him a little bit of hiccup just because
You're in number 5, right?
these sheep just ran in the open,
And then you put in
and they know that that number 3 has been a little bit narrower, so they might not want to look at it as much. But we'll see what they're going to do with it. So intermediate cattle is happening in the Loyal Life arena. The futurity cattle is, I think, finishing up in the True arena. So then we just have the nursery sheep going, and then the nursery cattle is finishing up as well in the ultimate sheep. So yeah, we might be done a lot earlier today. There they go. See, it's nice and wide now, so they should be able to get. Nice job through 4. Ooh, just scattered just a little bit. Nice pin.
Oh, Bright. Watch her, Annie, watch her.
Nice job. For Annie and Bright, they're going to get done. Full points.
Nice job. Annie Reynolds and Bright.
309.
Up next, we're going to have Ray Temple and GFB Stick. Then we're going to skip James and Rum, and we're going to go to Chris and Girl, then Frankie and Annie. You back? Ready for you, girl. Okay. I'm going to go see what Sam needs. I'm guessing something's still.
Okay, thank you to Afton, Wyoming for being a sponsor of the finals. We get to use their beautiful facilities here. It's the best time of the year. This is why we would put up with the winter, so that we can enjoy this summer here. So huge thank you to them. Also, Flying Finn's Border Collies, thank you to them for being a sponsor. Okay, up next we're going to have Ray Temple and GFB Stick. I was hoping maybe we wouldn't have the wind today, but it seems like we're going to have it. Sheep are coming out. If you guys are around Afton tonight, we are having the MSSA scholarship auction. It's going to happen after the handlers dinner. So right around like 7:30, 8 o'clock, I think is when we're going to get that started. If you want to donate an item, you can bring it down to the clothing booth down by the grandstands to Sherry, and she can get it entered into the auction. Or if you're just wanting to donate to the auction fund, you can go to mountainstatestockdogs.com. Good job. Gets them through the first one. So yeah, go to the Mountain State Stock Dogs website. They have information about the scholarship fund. You can also find all the live feeds for all the days that we're going. Again, today and tomorrow we have 4 different places going. One word of advice: if you are watching the live feeds and you have more than one video going, you want to mute some of the audio on those, or else you're going to get all the commentary, you're going to get all the noises in each of the arenas as you're trying to watch all of them at the same time. So just be aware of that. See, these sheep are a little cautious on this number 3 because it was so narrow before. Now they're like, oh, look at this. It's like a bridge. We can go around that. Headed to number 4. This is a great just cross drive around the field. They're going to enter where that number 4 is. Yep. They're going to sneak past it just a little bit. Gets them through 4. Ray's going to step out, and then he's going to load these guys up. Send him. He's going to push him and then bring him around. Oop. Nice job. That wing's going to be a nice little addition to that. That's going to make the pen a lot easier. Again, I think we're going to see some super fast times on this course. The sheep are wanting to be done. There, he's going to get him in. So then his time will stop as soon as that gate is shut. Nice job, Ray and Stick. 3:21.
Nice job, Ray and Stick. Full points of 270 and a time of 3:27.
Oh, 3:27. Sorry, it was off a little bit. My numbers are unofficial, so.
Next is James Butler and H.R. Rum, then Chris Timmons and Girl. Then
her up there, so you want to give her a minute.
Oh. Okay. Okay.
So we're going to go to Chris Timmons and Girl.
Okay, we're going to go with Chris Timmons and Girl. And then
Thank you to Gallopin' Paws Ranch out at O'Neill's, California for being a sponsor as well. Nice job through one. This is a cool dog to watch. She's super fast. So this is something we talked about earlier. So a lot of these dogs have been running in cattle and sheep. So when they're running cattle with the panels, they can go underneath those panels. These sheep panels, they cannot. And so we've had a couple dogs that have ran into the sheep panels or are going to take one route and then they have to resituate because they can't go that way. Nice job through three. Ooh, just going a little fast. Nice job. On four. Coming up to his pen. And get him in. Oh, one just sneaks out. Chris is just working on getting his pen. Again, they've been in here, they know what it is, and sometimes that makes it a little bit harder. There is that wing to kind of help out.
Number 12 scratched, so how about I put you in 12 with...
What number y'all on now?
Nice job. So now he just needs to get them to number 6. Ooh. Good try for Chris and girl. I believe that's 180 points.
Nice job, Chris and girl.
Hmm?
That was 225 for points. Up next, we got Frankie Acosta and /J Annie. Then it'll be Nancy Creel and Ava. Then number 8, Beth Stoltze and John. How's it going?
Oh yeah, he did get 5. 225, sorry. Chris and girl got 225. I was off by 1. Okay, Frankie Acosta and /J Annie is up next. The wind's starting to pick up again today.
Just as long as it doesn't start blowing our canopies away, that will be all right.
Right. Knock on wood. Hasn't happened.
Ooh, just one a little wide there on Frankie's fetch. He's going to cycle him around really quick, though.
I was going to say, that was a quick recovery.
Any really sharp working dog here makes it really nice to work a sharp dog on sheep, because it only takes a matter of inches and to change the whole direction of where they're going.
Well, and it seems like today, that's what you've had to work today, especially a lot of these handlers were in the open class and you were working your dog inches, because if you went any bigger than that, the sheep were exploding. 3 was a little bit narrower and there was a lot of issues on that one, and then the pen as well, so.
Yeah, this number 3 is a drive away from him right here and along the edge of the fence.
When everything's
it's an L shape, so they have to come in towards a dead end before they see the opening also.
And this whole week so far, they've been working them in the opposite direction. So now as they come out, we're driving them towards that opposite.
It's been in a come-by flow for the first part. Now it's in an away flow.
And the exhaust is on the opposite side. Nice job.
Yep.
We just like to confuse them.
This is a Y right here. Little kind of a narrow.
They do have to watch
narrow
that.
type fetch. It's very similar to the fetch.
Yeah.
If you can't really see it right there.
But this is something they have to watch. As they come out of 3, they're kind of drifting towards that south side. So if your dog is too far behind, they're going to get to that side of the panels, but he gets through it.
Frankie's coming into his pen with 2.5 minutes. These sheep are looking, they know the outgate is down here on this end now.
Yep.
Frankie's going to have to be strong here. That it gets the first one looking now. He just needs some forward movement.
I'm loving all the crouching and the wide arms. Good job.
I say some of these sheep, and that's where you're feeling, and the handler is working the stock to see whether they need to have that last little bit, kind of whether you pen them or you give them a minute to pen themselves. And Frankie doing a great job pulling that gate and time. Looks like he's going to be somewhere around a 3:18-ish.
Full points.
3:17-ish.
Nice job, Frankie and Annie. That's full points of 270 and a time of 3:16.
3:16.
Up next, we got Nancy.
Nice job, Frankie and Annie.
Then we'll have Beth and John. And then number 9, Tony.
So yeah, nursery sheep is going to be the kind of the last arena going today. We've finished up the ultimate field. Intermediate cattle, I believe, is done, and the futurity cattle is getting done. So we might be done before 6 o'clock today.
I don't know. There's a lot of runs still to go here.
So there's 42 is what we have.
And this is the last class.
And this is the last class.
So they've already ran 52 runs or 56 runs this morning.
Here goes Nancy and Ava.
Nancy calls for her sheep. She's going to get Ava to do number 3 just to show those
show the sheep how to do it.
What they should do after they get done here. You guys coming in a little flighty right here. These sheep doing what they normally do. They come down here to this end and they're held up just a little bit. Thing is here is Nancy's going to want to try and slow Ava down just a little bit. And these sheep were a little bit runny there, so doing a good job slowing her down.
I was going to say she's backed her off quite a bit.
Yeah.
To take that pressure
now they
off.
Can start seeing these openings. Yeah, good job just letting these sheep move and then gather their wits and not just blow off from here.
So I talked about this earlier, that a lot of these dogs are working cattle and then they're coming to sheep or vice versa.
Yes.
And it's a huge deal to know how to run the cattle versus the sheep. Cattle, you can get a little bit closer to them. You can put a lot more pressure on them. And the sheep, it seems like, at least today and yesterday, they need to be further back. And those sheep are really, receptive of the pressure if those dogs are kind of backed off a little bit. But the minute they kind of get in too close, the sheep just seem to pick up their pace or scatter.
Yeah, and so like you say, that it's the type of pressure and where you apply the pressure. So sheep need a bigger bubble of pressure, but they're all getting the same pressure to move forward. It just depends on where it's applied and how it's applied. But yes, how the dog's closer and further away, that's all. But pretty amazing for these dogs to be able to come in here and do it well and be able to rate and read multiple species and be able to handle them, and same ability for the handlers to be able to place them in the correct positions.
Oh, yeah.
So got a little close right here. I think she did get number 4. I had looked up just a little bit, but
I didn't say, I'm pretty sure.
She did. She's out of the pen. So after 4, they can leave the pen. And now this is where you got to also know what this group of sheep is going to take. Are they going to take being penned, as in, are you going to have to pressure them into it, or are you going to let them look and make their own decision to walk into that pen.
And you definitely don't want to get in the circle game.
And there's plenty of spaces. So one other thing that happens in this sheep arena is if you look at all these panels, they're all filled with wire fill. And these dogs cannot make that through there. They have to go around every obstacle that is in this. If there's a neck or a wing or anything like that, the dog can't make its planned outrun or its planned movement. So you have to adjust for obstacles also, and these dogs have to watch for those too.
Yep, we've had a couple that were very surprised when they went to go under a panel and
they could not go under a panel. So whereas versus cattle, where the panels are up on legs and the bars are farther apart, these dogs can even crawl through the bars, but
just about getting there. We want to thank Coal Creek Stock Dogs Clyde and Doreen McCourt, Sunrise Stock Dogs Derek Westover, and Mountain Mama Mohair for sponsoring the Family Day on Saturday. It's so fun. The kids love it. There's bounce house, there's face paint. They can come down. It's all free. You can let your kids play and come and watch the finals that will be happening in the main arena on Saturday. And also thank you to SBL Engineering. They say best of luck and have fun to Lizzie Lee and Maggie May. Okay, Beth Stoltze and John Stolze. They're going to be next. So I forgot to do, would you like to hear my Border Collie joke for the day?
Sure,
I did one in the, well actually, it's at a pickup line for all those that are single and ready to mingle at the finals this year. Okay, ready? Here, are you ready for my pickup line? This is a Border Collie's favorite pickup line. Are you a sheep? Because I've been chasing you in my dreams.
It's kind of a terrible joke.
That is not. It's not a joke. It's a pickup line.
Oh, it's a pickup line.
Yeah, somebody needs, if you use it at the finals, come find me, Stephanie the commentator, and I will buy you a treat if somebody uses that pickup line.
If somebody uses the pickup line. All right, I will come talk to you later. Beth is off and running here with John.
So she is running John in Nursery sheep and also the Futurity sheep.
She goes through her fetch here, and she's going to come by. She needs them to go on the opposite side. So this is the direction. Normally, if they were doing the number 2 earlier in the week, coming around this pen right here in a clockwise position is the way the sheep have went. Now they've got to go opposite that.
Yep. Good job, you too.
Beth doing a really nice job. See right here, precisely right there is what I'm talking about on the obstacles being an obstacle for a dog. He wanted to flank wider than that, which was probably a good read on the dog's part, but he couldn't do that. He he had to come in and
Well, now you
find
put
his way around.
the wind to factor in as well, so their whistles are getting carried, their voice commands are getting carried.
You know, in this small of an area.
I don't know. And then you have the airplane
not so much.
going through.
You do have to talk up a little bit, but it amazes you at what these dogs can really hear. Just gonna stop him and send him back around. See now also here she's got 3 sheep into this corner, and this is going to be a little obstacle here already. There, nice job, and it's also a pressure point as well. Sometimes that's a spot where some pressure could happen and maybe ending a run a little prematurely. Shirley doing a good job just edging him up right here.
Again, these sheep on number 3, they're not really wanting to look towards that opening.
Well, again, it's all about the pressure and where it's applied, right? So if you get up there to where you catch the eye of those sheep, they're going to pull their eye to the center and they're going to look at the dog instead of where they're going. Versus if you apply that pressure at a forward motion so that they can keep moving forward.
Oh, she might be a little, there we go. Oh, I thought he was going to run into that panel for a second, but.
Yeah, just watching John right here, these animals have been bred for thousands of years to gather and breed stock back. And every time these sheep get out here, he's just trying to get on the backside of this and balance up a little bit and bring those sheep. And so he's taking this come by flank just a hair further sometimes than what Beth has wanted him to. See, and he's there, nice job getting him back behind those sheep so they can finish up, because those sheep do not point until they get past that pink ribbon. And now these sheep are clear down into the corner, and she's gonna have to bring him get him off the wall of the arena. I don't know why somebody had to mention the wind and it not blowing.
Yeah, why did you mention that? Because it was so nice.
I don't think it was me that talked about the wind.
I didn't talk about it. You did.
I think that was a false statement, but.
Nope. True statement right there.
There's a great way. We'll rewind this thing and we'll find out. They're just,
oh man. They were headed there, and then last minute they decided, but they're going to do the fetch again.
Yeah, through the fetch again. Then you see these guys are heading off.
To that exhaust.
Old habits die hard. So now if she can keep John in contact here, and that's another thing too. If you can keep that pressure at a distance and at a contact to where these sheep know where he's at. See, they're getting a little long down here, and they're going to start doing what they want to do, and she's going to get a little too long on time, but great job.
So she's going to end with 5 minutes.
That was Beth and John with a score of 180.
180.
Next we have number 9, Tony Jenskis with Sammy, followed by number 10, Mike Clark and Dove, and then number 11, Kevin Lippy and Cy.
Country Vet Naturals dog food is crafted for hard-working dogs, packed with high-quality protein, essential vitamins and minerals. It's designed to fuel their energy and endurance. No fillers, no artificial additives, just pure natural nutrition for your loyal partner. Our formulas support your dog's digestive health, ensuring they can thrive at their best with comfort and ease. Country Vet Naturals gives your dog the strength and stamina to perform their best. Because when the job's tough, they deserve the best. Power your dog's performance with Country Vet Naturals.
Your relationship is built on trust. Your buddy is with you for work and play from sunup to sundown. And you can trust Nutrena True to deliver nutrient-packed formulas for active dogs like yours. Each bite is TruMune powered for immunity and mobility support, and with support for digestion plus joint, skin, and coat health, trust that they're always protected from the inside out. Find high-quality, hardworking nutrition near you at NutrenaWorld.com/NutrenaTrue. Nutrena, what's inside counts.
Nice job through the fetch. Nice job through 3. There, he's going to get him pinned.
Nice job. That was a full score of 270 and a time of 227.
227.
Next up is Mike and Dove. Then we got Kevin and Cy. And then we'll have James and Rum.
What did they have to wait for?
That's the killer of it. You go out and you cut your throw once and you're done. You're done. There's no try it a second time. There's no
What he was talking about?
Yeah. They would stand. They wouldn't stand where they were supposed to. Like not in the box, and their dog wasn't in the box always necessarily.
Yeah. So anyway.
So he pulled them.
Okay, Mike Clark and /J Dove. Nice job. Holy crap.
Mike getting his way through 3 here with Dove. Heading just a little, ooh. Everybody kind of got faked out on that one a little bit right there. He's got one out here off by himself. Mike's going to scoop around there and get it picked up. He's got one ewe right here that is a real track athlete. And she is checking out every edge of this arena right at the moment. This group really pulling down here. If Mike could maybe get these guys down somewhere off this wall and just let them settle just for a minute, kind of regroup, and there we go. That's Dove right here. If you notice, she takes that come by flank right there. She gets a little flat as she comes out of it, and that's kind of what's driving that, taking that single and running it down the arena. If she'd give a little bit of a shoulder right there. And the sheep, really hard situation to, nice job. Getting a good spot right here and just slowing down for a second. Letting everybody take a breathe. Still not totally convinced that that's the way they want to go, but now he's got it put together. Mike is right on the edge of having these things pinned right here. Oh, one sneaking by right there. And they're going to tip around. A really, really hard thing with sheep is sometimes getting into a circle competition with them. And more often than not, when you get around in this circle, the sheep are going to beat you in a circle faster than anything. So Mike's going to get out here and start driving them away. I think he's got maybe just about 5 or so seconds to. I think he's just waiting there to open his gate. But great job for Mike. He completed through number 4. I think that's going to put him at a total of 180.
Thank you, Mike and Dove. Up next, we got Kevin, Lippy, and Cy. Then we'll have James Butler and Rum. And then Libby, Meter, and Yeti.
All right, next up we got Kevin Lippy and his dog Cy. If you notice, it probably doesn't look like your traditional border collie, and that's because it's a Kelpie. Kevin still has a little bit of a Kelpie addiction from what I understand, but the ones that he has are pretty darn good ones, so Cy is not an exception to that rule, in my opinion anyway. So he's calling for his sheep. Cy was getting a little tight there for what Kevin wanted him to do, so he stopped him and got him out just a little bit there. Cy got a lot of speed and a lot of forward momentum to it. If you watch right there, those quick little short flanks, pretty darn precise movements right there as he comes through his fetch. And around through number 2. Kevin not a stranger to a national championship here with a Kelpie either, so I believe he's had a couple. I think there was Chalk and Steel that were all national champions here. These sheep holding up right here. This number 3, for those of you who haven't been watching, maybe have been watching, but this is a L shape, so until these sheep walk down inside of this obstacle, it doesn't really look open to them. They've got to turn their heads here and move forward. And Cy is just inching some pressure in there, and those front sheep finally starting to turn their heads. And most of that is the sheep just finally getting a little bit confident inside that he's not going to abuse them as soon as they turn their face away. So they're gaining a little bit of confidence in him right here. But also, we don't want him to gain too much confidence and think they're going to try and run him off either, which I'm quite positive they're not going to do with him. But that's just an obstacle we don't want to have to try and climb through while we're in the middle of a run. So Cy doing a nice job just keeping himself moving forward, keeping the sheep where they should, and in position to go through number 4, which they are through now. And Kevin is out of his pen and heading to his pen. And these guys are looking right inside there. Kevin's going to step behind him and get them in. Nice job on his pen. Now he's got to get him out of there. And get Cy back on this side of the pen. Kevin opens up his gate. He's going to try and slide by the wing of that panel right there and get these guys out of here. For some reason, that big old lady in the front is not wanting to go out, but Kevin's going to coax him in, grab his gate, shut it, time. Nice job for Kevin Lippy and Cy. I think he's going to be somewhere just over about a 319-ish.
Nice job, Kevin and Cy. Full points of 270 and a time of 320. Up next, we got James Butler and H.R. Rum. And then Libby Nieder and Yeti. And then Brianna with Sylvie.
He's a lot of fun.
For Lorena from Idaho, the National Stock Dog Finals are about good people, fair runs, and a reason to come back year after year.
It's just a big family, so it's always fun to come visit with friends. But then the competition, Steve works really, really hard to have even cattle, so the competition feels pretty doggone fair as it can be.
Catch Lorena and more in Afton, Wyoming at the Mountain State Stock Dog Association Finals. 10 years in and the largest in the country.
All right, we're going back up our run order here to James Butler and H.R. Rum. I've watched this dog in a few different classes. Nice, fancy, sharp, little red and white female. She is off and to the back of this arena, down, and James asking her to walk up here. And got him on a good line looking that front U. Not sure, but there to catch it. So full points, or all these points on his fetch there. Now he's headed to number 2, which is no hassle at all. Picking up a little bit of speed right there, and you got to kind of shut that down right here because 3 is a little tighter. But if you can keep those heads facing forward, they're getting just a little up of that entrance. Now they're around the end of it, so he's going to send Rum back around it. There we go, and these guys just hanging a little too wide. Just barely, there we go, now they're looking through. Got all their heads facing the same way, and he's done on 3. And gonna hustle down over so they don't get too far down the arena, but Rum just getting a little too far on the away flank there. And she's got a lot of speed to her. Sometimes they can get a little far out there really fast. And
He's a lot of fun.
For Lorena from Idaho.
as easy as it can be, and James out of his pen and working towards the pen. And that's the nice thing about a dog with a lot of speed is sometimes you're just never out of position because you got a dog that can get there. Again, here's this. She wanted to be wider than that, but these panels turned it into an obstacle for her anyway, not being able to get as far out as she would like to be. There we go. Now he's got these guys settled just a little bit here. Now he's just needing these guys to look, and ooh, Rum got a little too far. I don't think James noticed her coming in behind his back right there, but they got just a touch too far out here. And she kind of held him from coming into the pen, but James is going to go off to this other side and see if he can make this work. That's asking for Rum to give a little bit of distance. He's got part of him in there, and that's all he needs to. There he goes, got the pin. He's needing Rum to break off right there. Rum was just walking him down there for just a second. And he's got to come across there. Sheep making it there a little bit before James, but everybody backing around, and now they're going to head out of here. He's going to grab that gate and get it shut. Stop his time right there. So James is going to have full points in a time of 3. James time is going to be a 3:36 on that with full points at 270. Next up, we have Libby Nieder and her dog Yeti. If I'm not mistaken, I think this is Libby's first MSSA finals. She's got a handful of really nice dogs here. I don't know how many she's running, but I think she's running at least a couple. Yeti was thinking about it there for just a minute. Just needing her. Yeti's on the front side of these sheep right now. Libby's needing her to get on the back side of the sheep. Another tough deal is asking these dogs against this black tarp, also against a solid edge of this arena. There, ooh, she just about took that come by flank, but there she goes, taking it away, but just not quite finishing that out. And Libby's gonna leave her pin and just take an opportunity. And that's sometimes the problem we have in these nursery classes is just a little bit of young dog and inexperience. Well, not even necessarily inexperience, just something new and different for a young dog. But super nice, stylish, creepy, crawly. A lot of really nice things about that dog, but a little tough luck on the outrun. Next we got up is Brianna Henderson and Sylvie. Brianna's another one that has had a handful of really nice dogs here, and I think is doing really well in a bunch of her classes that she's into, cattle and sheep. And she's got Sylvie out here and through the fetch. You got to appreciate the sharpness of these dogs that run a lot of sheep. The quickness to their commands, the sharpness on their commands. Looking really nice going into 3. And she's got him right on line and through. Now she's going to head over to 4. And if you notice how they keep these dogs in contact so these sheep know where they're being directed all the time. Just getting a little bit long in the arena, but really easy to get back over there and direct and around the edge of the panel back through number 4. And it's all because she stayed up and in contact so that those sheep knew where they were supposed to go and not just let to go off to the back corner of the arena. And if you listen to how fast those commands come out also, the handler has to be really spot on to be able to give those commands, think quickly, and be able to place their dog right where they should be. Because that is one of the names of the games with sheep is it's quick, it's fast, and quite a bit. Nice job. Quite a bit. Almost more pressure than what cattle are, just because of how fast the situation, how quick it can change, and what can go on. But these guys holding up in a really nice spot so they didn't have to go around another panel. Brianna's got her gate open, and she's getting through. She can get this gate shut quick. Whew. Really nice fast score right here. 2-something. 2:32. And that's going to put her unofficially up there quite a little ways.
Nice job, Brianna and Sylvie. Full points 270 and a time of 2:32.
And I think unofficially that's putting her around. Ooh, I think she's in 3rd. As I'm seeing it right now, about 14 dogs into it. Looks like unofficially, I think Tony and Sammy, which by the way, super nice dog as well, looks to be leading it. Then Brian Jacobs, who is in right now with his dog Beth, looks to be in 3rd, and then Brianna and Sylvie that we just watched should be in 3rd. Sorry, Brian in 2nd, Brianna in 3rd, unofficially. And Brian is out here with, we've been debating the name. I'm going to call it Suko. I think other people are calling him Seiko, Swako, something. And here in a little bit, we'll find out what Brian calls him, because that's what really matters. So, there he is through his fetch. And off and through number 2, and just like that, he's got 2 of them down and headed off to number 3. I'm getting word that maybe it's Swako. We're putting a bet on Swako. And he's through 3. Just dipping in a little bit before number 4 right here. And out and around, nice. Turn through 4. And Brian has really set himself up for a nice time so far coming to his pen. And she's going to run right. Oh! You can't ask for a better than that. And his pen is done after, holy moly, that lead sheep just said, hold on, Brian, let me show you where I'm supposed to go. And he said, okay, why don't you do that? And he is going to be out. And, yeah, nice job. Out of here for a 2. We'll find out here in just 1 second. Full points, though.
Full points 270 and a time of 2:25.
2:25. I think unofficially that's going to put him in 2nd. But, yeah, smoke and run. Nice job, Brian. All right, for those who are interested, sueco is how you say it. It means crooked in Spanish, is what I was just told. If that was wrong, then that's Brian's fault, because he just told me that. But we have Lorelei Judd and MISR Shadrach. And she is through her fetch. And Lorelei, if she has anything to say with this leaderboard, is going to try and put her 2 cents in on it. I think she came flying in yesterday in one of the classes and scooped it up with like a minute 46 or something like that. But she is down and through number 2. And just working on number 3 right here. Needing them to step out towards the edge of the arena just a little bit. One's getting long on her, but not a bad thing to have them come back through there, because now at least one of them knows that something's open there. Oh. Shadrach getting a little flat across that flank right there and just kind of squeezing these guys forward, but all right, she's down just a little ways, getting Shadrach back down here behind him. Just gonna reset this just a little bit. These guys are basically going to make that one in the middle that didn't want to go. So that was nice of the other ones to escort that one through. 4 went straight and 1 went sideways. But nonetheless, she's through 3. And getting a little ways out towards this corner. I think she's going to send a come by right here and flank them around. Oh, they're getting a little wide out into the middle of the arena, but there we go, getting right through 4. And off into her pen. Lorelei's going to get off to the side of the wing, the panel with the wing. And she's going to, nice job just getting them up here, slowing them down. She's going to start walking them in there. She's getting herself back just a little bit. She's getting down, getting her arms out. And just about, there we go. There, oh, little wide. And one thing about a sheep, if they're going to go, they're just going to go. It doesn't matter who's in the way. And Lorelei's going to switch to the other side now. Say, okay, we gave it one shot that way. We'll give it one shot this way. And, oh, just a little wide there again. And Shadrach's going to have him. Oh, 1 got split off this panel. 2 over here. She's got a 2-3 split. Now she's back together. And we're going to be ready again for this. And Lorelei doing a really good job keeping them here. Just these sheep just feeling the pressure and tightness of this pen right here. And they're not totally confident they want to go in just yet, but oh. There we go. She's gonna get them a little bit closer, about as close she's at them. She's got 1 little one looking inside. Got 2. Oh, they're not gonna do it. Big one's gonna pull them back. Oh, she's gonna, oh, had 1 all but in there. 1 by itself. And she's just gonna run out of time, darn it. Nice job for Lorelei and Shadrach.
He's a lot of fun.
For Lorena from Idaho, the National Stock Dog Finals are about good people, fair runs, and a reason to come back year after year.
It's just a big family, so it's always fun to come visit with friends. But then the competition, Steve works really, really hard to have even cattle, so the competition feels pretty doggone fair as it can be.
Catch Lorena and more in Afton, Wyoming at the Mountain State Stock Dog Association Finals. 10 years in and the largest in the country.
We got Zach Brady and Molly out and on to her outrun. I was talking to Zach earlier, and he was telling me how much he loves sheep. I think he said he's going to sell out all of his cows and his horses and buy some sheep when he gets home. He fell into love with them earlier when he was trying to catch one that ran him over. Him and Stockton had a moment, and he decided he was buying sheep from there on out. But that's his words, not mine. So Zach is through 2. And headed off to 3. I think Zach running a couple of dogs this week. I think Molly and May. And I'm not sure if he's got another dog there. Nice job through 3, though. Keeping that momentum forward and not letting those sheep turn, and doing a great job right there through 4. Probably about as slick as we've seen from 3 to 4 so far even. And if they will do like one of the other runs we've seen and just run over here and put themselves in the pen, that would be delightful. Like that. Good. Criminy with one hanging out. All right, Zach, if you pen these sheep like this, you are buying a herd of sheep. It's already decided. Yeah, Zach's buying sheep. He is now a sheep herder, and he is out of there, and he is cooking on this, forgetting that it's a timed event here, Zach, and not getting to his gate. Oh, he's got one hanging up. The wheels are coming off the bus at the moment, but he's going to be all right. Got him over there. Okay, we're putting the wheels back on the bus, getting out of here, and criminy sakes, still going to, probably unofficially going to take the lead again. And great job for Zach and Molly. Puts down a smoke and run.
Good job, Zach and
2.
Molly. Full points of 270 and a time of 2:11.
2:11. That is unofficially your new leader and a new owner of sheep on his place. So all right, not to be outdone again here. Brian is out here with Gus. And he's going to see what he can do about this whole leaderboard change. Looking nice through the fetch. through 2. Ooh, just getting a little bit ahead of him right there. Kind of the cool part about this, if you think about traditional border collies and sheep and working, this is kind of what you look at right here. You got that long hair and a nice mane. Him taking these short flanks and his face on the ground. Through 3. Now all we need is just a rock wall and some misty rain on a green grass carpet, and would think we're in Scotland watching a sheep trial. But through number 4. And if you remember just moments ago, we had Brian in here that just walked one straight into the pen, and then Zach comes out and does the same thing, and he's just about doing that same thing right again. Gonna keep these guys right here. Gonna both back up, give a little pressure, and scoop them right into the pen, and they're pinned. And again, Brian taking a swing at this leaderboard for 2 times in a row. If he can keep them to this side, this is going to be tight again, and that sheep just about ran into the gate. She went out, and we might see a change again. So full points at 270. Good criminy.
Nice job, Brian and Gus. Full points 270 and a time of 2:09.
And a 2:09. So there we go again. Gonna change it up again. Jeez. Well, hopefully if you've been watching the sheep trial, you've been watching at least the last 5 going on here, because it just got a little wild here. So next in we've got Sonny Mahern and Gemma. And Sonny is going to come in and see if he can take his piece of the pie here and maybe sweep this all up in under a 2:09. Sonny is off and running with Gemma. It's another little pretty female that's short-haired and really precise. Watch her tuck that shoulder and take her flanks. So he is through his fetch, headed for number 2. Oh, there we go. One thinking she knew better than the rest and heading off in the wrong direction. But Gemma gets her tucked back in. Through 2. And just a little bit of back and forth there, and then they're off to 3. Just trying, the big thing is trying to get forward momentum, but yet not getting too far ahead to where you turn them back, which our angles to the angles of Sonny while he's standing out in his box are a little bit different too. And there he goes. Best thing here is that everything's facing forward. He's going to send Jim in away and through that obstacle, so he's done with 3 now, headed to 4. Jim is going to scoot it down to this far end, not letting them get too far. And they're just almost borderline a little wide for the backside of this obstacle, but Jim is there, going to push him through, and there we go, getting it all finished up. Done with 4. Sonny's kicking out of his box. And we're off to the pen here. Got a little protesting there, but then she's going to give up and say maybe. Almost in. She's still protesting this decision. Yeah, we're all looking in the wrong direction. And if she'll just keep backing up, nice job, and he's got a pin. Just a little bit of patience there. And this one of those where just waiting and letting them kind of do it themselves on their own decision, not scattering them. And that's where you have to read your sheep, and either they pin themselves or you pin them, and those guys making the decision to take it in and do it themselves. Oh, and this one not necessarily wanted. There we go. Now she'll just see the vision here and head out. These guys just, for whatever reason, holding up on this deal, and he's going to get them in and shut the gate. And he's going to finish up full points in a time of 3:25. Nice job, Sonny and Gemma. Rooster, Lazy JR Rooster, and he is off and running. We're getting a little bit of variation on our dog breeds in this class. We've had a Kelpie, we've got a Hanging Tree, we've had Border Collies, some more traditional than others. So, got a little bit of everything today. But Rooster is off and through his fetch, working on his number 2, which is finished. And Rooster just rating right along behind these guys, moving them up. And then he'll be working his way over. Ooh, just getting a little long right there and out and away from the edge of the arena. He's got one standing up in the L of that panel. Needs to get back to get inside that opening. Taking just a minute to get these heads turned around. Rooster's going to step up there and ask for some movement. And he's just getting a little too far past that teetering point where he turns them around. Now they're all facing him. But needing those guys to look forward and head through that obstacle would be nice. They're getting a little wide right there. He's got to tuck these guys back in. There he goes. Just patiently waiting on these guys to turn around. Trying to not blow them out of there anyway, and then have to regather them and start all over. Oh, getting a little too far behind and out to the back of them, so it pushes them around the obstacle. Wouldn't be a bad thing if you could load them that way and daylight them on this other side and turn them around and put them back. But they're looking nice right there. Right there is looking good. They're heading forward and through. He is done. Done with number 3. And nice little thing those sheep held up right there. I didn't see exactly what happened. I was writing. But they still got a little bit long into the corner. There, and he's going to push him back around, I think is the direction he's going to go. Then he'll send him on to come by. Maybe letting him get a little too far out there, because it might just pull him right back into the same spot. Yeah. Rooster just staying on the backside of these guys, taking them in the opposite direction where we need them to go right at the moment. And this is kind of where these sheep have drifted to anytime they get a chance. They either drift down here into this far southeast corner where they come back towards the exit. And he's going to bring him around. Then needing to send away. It's going to be a little too late. And just getting a little too long on time. Couldn't quite get him around through 4, but he's going to get 45 times 3, whatever that number is, in a time of 5 minutes. But great job for J.R. Bailey and Lazy J.R. Rooster.
It's a long haul to Afton, but for folks like Irby and Jerry, the National Stock Dog Finals are worth it.
Yeah, they do it right. They have good people running it, and they always have good cattle. And then it's kind of a vacation. We just like to come up here and enjoy the area.
We came, 1,200 miles?
12, 13. It takes us 3 days to get here, but it's worth it.
Catch Irby and Jerry and more in Afton, Wyoming for the Mountain State Stock Dog Association Finals. 10 years in and the largest in the country.
Okay, we have James Butler and Jess. How smart to send them on and come by. Those sheep are kind of drifting towards this east side. Nice job. Nice job through 2. Good job through 3. I mean, he's barely unofficially at a minute. Ooh, just getting a little. Oh. Just kind of overflanked just a little bit and got him turned, so they went behind. But pushes him out and it's going to get him lined back up. Ooh, just sneaking past it again.
Not clear.
So you heard the judge say that he wasn't clear. He had to bring those sheep clear back. Now he's good. On to the pen. Ooh. Nice job. Nice job, Jamin and Jess. 316. Total score of 270.
Nice job, James and Jess.
Okay, we have Dwayne, Harleman, and Quinn. Lined up nicely for that fetch. Nice job. Gets him through 2. Doesn't let him stop at the exhaust area.
Oh, just getting a little touch wide right there.
There they go.
But he's got him backing around and gone. And he is finished with his
Ooh, get around.
3rd.
Get around, get around.
Good. Now he's got to the head right there. Working him back towards 4. He's going to send him come by and right through his Y. And he is out of his pen. He's a minute 25, so looking really nice on a time. If he could go ahead and pin these guys really quick, I'm sure Dwayne would be really happy about that. And looking pretty nice.
They're thinking about it. Again, this is where you just have to work inches. Gets him
And look
in.
at
Good
that.
job.
He's got him in the pen. Now he is going to hustle around. And they are going to be right there. Ooh, this is going to be tight. That little spot of them turning around might have been the difference between first and second at the moment.
Ooh, stop.
Ooh.
Oh, man.
That was tight. And we're going to list these full points with a time of.
Nice job, Dwayne and Quinn.
2:08, I think.
Time of 2:08.
That's your new leader by a second.
And that's
unofficially.
That might be unofficially leading it now by a second. So we are getting this crap stacked up in a pile because we have got a 2:08, 2:09, a 2:11, a 2:21, or a 2:25, 2:27. Man, yeah, they are stacking them up pretty tall right here. So getting pretty darn tight in this nursery sheep class. Next we got in is Robin, Brown, and Gale. And Stephanie's going to give us a little speech here really quick on the best method to make the fetch. Go.
Just like that.
Way to go. Just like that, through the fetch. Gale puts on a clinic. And now they're off to number 2. Going to get a little bit wide. This is going to turn into its own obstacle of now we got to come back around and then around. So a little here and there and then through 2. She's off to 3. Getting a little ahead right there. And looking for the right. Oh, 3 of them came out, 2 of them in, 2 back out, 3 out, now 2 in, now back all together. And now we're going to start it all over. Just a little wider than the panel or the entry. And Stephanie's sitting here the whole time just looking, not saying a word. Just leaving me to carry the whole weight right now and all the way through, and still not a word from Stephanie. And we're on to the next. On to 4. Stephanie's still just looking. Stephanie's been commentating all day long. She might have, I think we took her to the doctor and she's got a strain in her aorta vocal cord complex and might have to take the season off. Robin working on number 4 right here, just drifting. Oh,
that one hit the panel, but then decided to go back out.
Oh, it's a Christmas miracle. We heard some wonderful commentary from my wife as they bumped into that panel just a little bit, but just getting reset to do number 4. And looking good. Oh.
No, I was going to say watch that side.
Yeah, now she's through. And she is off to number 5. And Robin's going to come on this close side to us here. And they are standing right in front of the pen. Not quite committed to anything yet. And there we go in. Pinned for 5. Now she'll get them out of there and she'll walk back to her gate. Get that open. These sheep are going to look in the wrong direction. Now she's going right. And shut the gate. And nice job. Gonna get herself a 270 on points with a time of 3:31. Stephanie, do you want to announce our next person into the arena?
Nope, because I don't know who it is yet.
So it is.
Cat Tufel and Ripster, then Irby Chandler.
Cat Tufel. So is it? How do you say? Is it?
It's just her prefix, FFINS. It's
so
for
just
flying
FFIN.
fins.
Okay, Ripster.
Yep, Ripster.
And then after that, it's going to be Cindy Campbell and Maverick.
I think Cat has.
I think Kat's got a couple of dogs she's running in here that I believe are dogs that she's raised.
So she has Elwood, Ripster, and Coco. Oh, Cat was in the Old Timers yesterday.
Oh, good for her.
On the horseback. That's fun.
And Cat has called for her cattle, or not cattle.
Sheep.
This is a sheep arena, so she called for sheep in it. And Ripster just trying to get her off and around behind these sheep. Just kind of out of our view, just a little bit in the corner of that arena. Now they're back out. And hopefully she can get him. Again, sometimes it's just a little bit of the unknown of what that black solid edge of this arena is sometimes kind of the difficult part of getting them back around behind the backside of these sheep to start bringing them through to the fetch. But she went just a little wide to our left coming through. So she's got Ripster down here, going to drive him back down the arena and give the fetch another shot.
This is where you have, oh my, you have to be careful or else you get in the circle game. I'm not sending him too soon, but.
Yeah, and trying to chase in a circle.
She got
but Cat doing a really nice job banking him off those panels and getting Ripster into a spot where he could bend him around and through the fetch. And just like that, she's through her fetch and on to number 2. Because one thing's for sure, and we talked about it earlier, if you're going to chase sheep in a circle, they're always going to win. They can turn a circle faster than anything, it seems. They're just down here holding up in this corner a little bit. I can't hear, but I think Cat is probably giving away command here. We've got these put together here and headed toward number 3. Just a little wide for 3 right at the moment. And Ripster. Oh, perfect.
There they go.
Sometimes there's nothing better than a good leader to take them where they should go, especially with sheep.
Now she's got to watch
and
this
she's
corner.
Through 3. She needs to get Ripster on an away command.
Yeah.
And do it probably pretty quicker. They're going to get down here along this back arena. Oh, great job. They stopped just shy a little bit there, but they're going to get into the corner, which is where these sheep always kind of drift if you've been watching. I'm just on the wrong side of this obstacle here. Just getting a little long down the arena to get them scooped back around for that entrance to number 4. Just carrying a little too far each time she's tried to pass this one here.
We've kind of seen this where there's a couple extra panels. The sheep start going different ways and they can separate, and then the dog's having to go clear around these panels, and it's kind of just you're playing the catch-up game.
Yeah, that's... If she can get him a little further on that away command. There, now these guys are going to come together. This one right here, there we go. Now set him a little too far that way.
She's coming up on about 30 seconds left.
Ooh, and
so getting short on time.
The clock coming up is not to be her friend, and probably going to run out of... But a lot can change really quick too, so... Just drifting back down. Oh, I couldn't see where Ripster was. And just getting too long with time.
Good try for Cat and Ripster.
Yeah, so she's going to make it through 3 for a total points of 150.
Thank you, Cat.
No, 130.
130.
135.
35. And somebody's lying to me with math. And a full time of 5 minutes.
Making sure your pets get the nutrition they need to live long, happy lives? That's what we do best. With our special blends of quality ingredients, you can count on us for the pets counting on you. After all, being the best pet parent ever is what you do best.
Your dogs deserve the best, so give them the best with our stock of Nutrena Loyal Life pet food. In every bag, there's wholesome nutrition that's free of corn, wheat, and soy, added digestive support with prebiotics and probiotics, and special ingredients to optimize your pup's immune strength, mobility, and overall health. Get the best for your dogs with Nutrena Loyal Life pet food.
Up next, we have Irby, Chandler, and Marty. Marty is ready.
Irby's going to get Marty set up here. Climbing in his box and calling for his sheep. Marty's off and running. Going to come in just a little bit short, and Irby giving him that.
Those sheep stopped at the right spot, though.
Yeah, they kind of held it up as he was cutting in.
Nice job through one.
Through his first obstacle. Now he's off and on to 2. And through 2 nicely.
Marty was going to go through the panels.
I just say we've seen that a handful of times today. Those dogs wanting to make a bigger flank than what they can with the panels there, and they can't fit underneath them, through them, and the only way is around them. Working his way to 3. Oh, he got a little too far behind, but needing him to move forward. Now he's going to start pushing him off to the side of the arena so he can scoop him around the panel. The sheep being pretty darn good at wanting to move forward.
There we go.
There we got the one looking, and he's off with number 3, getting out a little too far behind him. But actually maybe not all that bad of a scenario because they really, that was really close to diving him in for 4, but these sheep holding up right at the right spot. Now if he can away, there, away, there. Getting a little too far behind. They might push him back around this panel. Yeah, one making it too far. And now back in. He's going to have to clear these guys and start it again. And just sneaking around one more time. Now away. And this is looking better right here. And stop him there. Oh, drifting a little too far. He's going to have to send him come by. There we go. Sheep stayed where they should have.
Through 4.
Through with 4, and Irby is going to get himself out of the pen so he can put the sheep in there.
So just a reminder, the scholarship auction is going to be happening tonight around 6:30. So if you guys are in Afton, you can come down for that. It's going to be a fun time.
Oh, just a little wide right there on his number 5. Now say that again. What is going on?
The scholarship auction is happening tonight at 6:30.
And what is the scholarship auction?
So it's for their scholarship fund for any kids that are involved in the MSSA. So as they get ready to go off to college, they can apply for the scholarship, and they I think you can actually too go on the website and they have to write an essay.
And there we go, penned.
So there's an essay that they write, and then the board of directors decide who's going to get it. We have 3 recipients this year. We have Cashley Hepworth, Harley Mackey, and Abby Mahurin that are getting that scholarship. So we're just doing the auction tonight to add more funds to that.
And in the meantime, we are almost finished. Oh,
no,
Irby has him out of the exit. 2 still in the pen. Now they're all out of the pen, but he's going to get them back and in. No harm, no foul. Irby's going to hustle up, grab his gate, slam it shut, and he's going to end up with a 451 and 270 points.
From playful pups to cuddly kittens, Loyal Life Super Premium Pet Food makes it easy to choose the product that's just right for your pet's life stage. Every pet has their own special nutritional needs, and we've got the super premium option your family's best friend deserves.
Thank you, Charlie. Thanks, Rocky. Thanks, Cooper. You too, Toby and Jody and Daisy and Sadie and Gracie. Your loyalty means everything to us, which is why we perfected the recipes behind our food and included special support for mobility and immunity. Find premium nutrition near you at NutrenaWorld.com/loyallife. Nutrena, what's inside counts.
She's going to go grab these guys out of this corner and head them. They're going to drift right into,
just to the side of it.
Just a little too far. There, now she's got them all cleared on the other side. Say she's going to come back on it, come by, and just a little too flat around there and pushed them across that opening. She's going to wrap them back around. Hopefully she can get there, not push them across. One going wide. And she's resat for another try on here. Gonna send him off. And there
she gets
third time's a charm. Got it done. She's coming into two backwards from the way we need it, but she'll just daylight them through, then go gather them back up and put them back through this one. There she goes. Two is complete. On to three. She's headed straight down along there. Through three, nice job, keeping them all facing the right direction. A little far on number 4. Now she needs to get him back around to this side of those sheep because they're a little past the panels this way. Oh, but they're plenty of wind.
Might be able to turn
right in the middle of. There we.
Turn your mic down.
And there we are, looking almost good, but not quite. And ooh, that was close. Got him cut back through number 4. She stopped and asked if she was okay, and Ken said yes, so she's turning and burning. Headed to 5, which is the pen. And things looking pretty darn good right at the moment.
That wing helps them out a lot.
Yeah, the wing sure takes up some space on that side and really helps them get them there. Now if Jeannie can step back just a little bit and help coax these guys in.
But not too much.
And yeah, there we go.
No.
There. Nice job. Now just splat them in there. Jump in Push him in.
There she goes.
Nice job. Got the pin. Hear him call it. And now.
Oh, she's got one stuck.
One hanging up. Now it's out. Ooh, but they're going to jump across that other side. But the good part is that Deaver was not too far down along there to where it was a big deal. Ooh, there. Now she is in and stopping the time right there.
Good job.
And she is going to finish up with a 270 and
she'll announce it. So she's running Deaver and Ruby.
Points of 270 and a time of 4:46.
And a 4:46 is Jeannie's time.
And then Brianna and Rowan and then Kevin and Serge.
So Roberto?
No, Gilberto. Gilbert.
So super young dog. Is it Lace or Lacey?
I think it's Lace. L-A-C-E would be like. I said Lace and she looked at me. I'm pretty sure it's Lace. So this dog has been out working cattle in the field today in the nursery trial. Gilbert's going to get in the pen and throw his hand in the air and say, let's go.
Sheep stopped in a good spot.
Yeah, she was going to cut that a little tight right there, and Gilbert sent her a little wider.
Ooh.
And getting a little off. Ooh, she was there, but nice job. Rolling them through. Now he's off to number 2. Those guys looking like maybe they want to go in the pen too. 2
nice
is done.
2.
3 along the fence coming up here. Again, the key is to keep them moving forward, but not too wide. We don't want them to stop and kind of ball up and turn around and face us.
Watch those shoulders. There
yeah, we want that right there.
Nice.
Those feet moving forward. The face is going in the right direction, and
Send
he is
her.
off. Now and away.
Send
her away so she doesn't get too far.
Oh, dang it. A little too far.
Yeah, those sheep making it down into the corner there.
I would say that's something you can kind of anticipate they're going to do from 3 to 4.
Yep. Most of these sheep are not coming too shallow. They're going quite deep.
Oh, there you go. Send her now.
And that's I would be anticipating that myself. And nice job of getting them backing around and through number 4. And now he's going to step out of his pen.
Still a 130, but unofficially a 138.
Yeah, so Gilbert cooking right along here, getting a little onto the wrong side of those sheep for where he's needing to go. And he's going to give his squat down and say, no, don't walk past me. And it's going to work because that one's going in and the rest of them are going in. Got his pen. And he
needs to hustle.
Got a nice time. Yeah, he's gonna watch his dog right there because definitely don't want to do something necessarily silly and lose everything right here. Oh, we got one out. Gilbert might be trying a new thing and take him out one at a time and pen him. No, never mind. He's going to bring them all out. And nice job there. Squeeze them through. Shut the gate.
Good job.
And it looks like it's going to be a 240 with full points for Gilbert.
Up next is Brianna Henderson and Rowan. She ran earlier in the... Which one did we do earlier?
For Brianna, I think
Open.
She who?
Raised this pup. It was the only pup born in the litter.
Oh.
This is its first year trialing.
First year trialing.
Yeah.
Only pup in its litter.
And Brianna raised her.
She's done a good job with these dogs. She has Nike and Rowan and
Sylvie, which we've seen Sylvie already.
But yeah, her and Rowan ran in the open sheep earlier.
Probably my favorite sheep dog I've seen.
And Rowan, when you get up next to Rowan, is a big dog too. Big, wide-headed.
Sort of like me, you get up next to me.
Yeah, I kind of get bigger and wider the closer you get to me.
She should be able to, I think in her first run she had a little bobble on 3, but now that it's wider she could put a really fast run down. She works sheep really, really well.
That she's through 2.
Tried to go through the panels.
Yeah, I was gonna say the panels makes its own obstacle itself for the dog. She's starting to string these guys along right here, looking to get them close up against the side so they can make that entrance to 3. And hopefully not having to flank too far to where she turns them around. And keep them watching forward just like that. And she is through 3, on to 4. And these sheep have been dashing it down to this bottom corner. And
that was
like
a good move
Brianna
to stop her.
Brianna was anticipating that a little bit there, though, wasn't she?
Yeah, she got them slowed down, so hopefully they'll just see that opening. Yeah, that saved a lot.
Yeah, even though they slowed down a little bit, it saved her having to cycle them back around. She stayed on a straight line and made it through number 4. Now she's going to step out of her pen. Looking pretty nice so far.
Watch their noses.
She can just keep these guys facing forward like they have done and moving forward. Brianna working her way back around behind these guys, but not wanting to give too much space right there to where they can sneak past her too.
Stomping their foot at her.
Yeah. Yeah, they're warning her now. She squeezes them in. She's got them pinned. Now she's going to clean this pen out, and she is going to start. Oh, these guys just holding up right there. Now she's got to hustle to her pen.
Don't let him go through there.
Yeah, that will save a lot of time if she doesn't let him back through number 2. She's going to open it so they see it. She's going to walk back, help out. And now she's got him pinned, slammed the gate, all finished up. So she is going to end up with a full point run of 270 in a time of 3:43. Nice job, Brianna and Rowan.
So unofficially the time they're looking to beat is a 2:08.
2:08 by
Dwayne
Hurleman and Quinn.
3:43. Up next we got Kevin Lippy and Sarge, then Becky Combs and Boone, then Derek Westover and Joe.
All right, Kevin Lippy and Sarge. is off and rolling. He's got his sheep picked up, headed right through number one. These guys holding away from each other just for a second, but he's through two. And cooking right along to three. One holding up there. And looking really nice on three, and that is...
That's a pretty fast.
Yeah, from
still less than a minute
from
unofficially.
1, 2, and 3. Yeah, he's still under. And if he's going to get a little too far right there, though.
Yeah. Oh,
but
got him back.
Now he's got him back and looking really nice. So he's going to be through 4.
Holy cow.
And Sarge is...
that one's not through yet.
Yeah, there we go. Now he is finished with 4. He is going to go... Oh, they got down into that far corner. About the only little bobble that he's had on this run so far is just that little bit right there. Now, if he can have these guys just run down and put themselves in the pen, be beautiful. They
right there.
almost look like they're going to do it. Kevin,
they're stopped
got to
right
exercise
there,
those leg muscles. Get down, get low, and
watch their noses. There you
got
go.
one inside there, almost 2 inside there, and that is going to be a pin.
It's a pin.
Woo. Look at this, and that little bit of a bobble down there getting into the far corner
Cost him a little bit of
cost
time.
him a little bit of time there, but
and these guys are kind of not wanting to come out.
Yeah, they got in the pen and felt pretty comfortable there, so they're just hanging out there. And if they can make it around the end, Kevin's going to grab the gate, shut it.
Good job.
Nice job. I think I heard it was a full point run at a time of 2:35. We'll listen in on this.
Nice job, Kevin and Sarge. That's a full point of 270 and a time of 2:35.
2:35 for Kevin and Sarge.
Next we got Becky and Boone. Then it'll be Derek and Joe, Tina and Drew.
So next we got up is Becky Combs and Boone.
And I want to say she did. In the open sheep, her and her dog, Sadie, had the fastest time with a 2:44.
So Becky, you won it in the open then?
With Sadie, yeah.
With Sadie.
Yep, so we'll see what her and Boone can do. So she knows this course.
So looking for some good things here. Another one of these long, shaggy border collies. Working sheep. These guys held up right in the middle of those panels. Now the hope is that when they leave here, they leave straight through instead of scattering to the side or swerving out of there. There we go. She's got her fetch. Now she's off working to 2, coming around behind the pen that she's standing in. Just these guys all holding up right here, and they hopefully don't drift too far, but they're going to make it through 2. So she is through her second one. Boone getting a little inside. Needing to send away. There we go. Get some momentum going that way. Headed to 3. And looking pretty nice. Oh, I think she's just inside. She is.
Yep, she is.
It's kind of getting a little tough to see that panel against that black edge.
Oh,
there we go. 1's inside of it, 2's inside. Now they just need to move through. There we go. Off to 4. She's going to want to get on that far side or they're going to get too far, but right there, ready for it. In really good shape for 4. And these guys just getting and holding up right here. There he goes. Got him through. Looks like they're going to try and go backwards though, but he's there to cover. So
they're just being a little
finishing up
sticky.
4. I was going to say they get to a spot and then just hold up at the entrance of a panel. When they get out in the middle of things, they move just fine, but they kind of get to an opening and they kind of hold up for just a minute. Becky's going to be down here to the far side of this pen, waiting for Boone to bring him to her. She's getting a little long on time right here. She's coming up over 4 minutes. She needs to have a nice clean sweep on this pen and put them right in so she can get to her exit. About 30 or so seconds left. Sheep looking in the right direction, but they might come to our side of this pen. But Boone is right there. Yeah, there we go. That one was being brave and walked in there. Now, hopefully, Becky walks in there, pushes them.
Oh, she got one out.
One turned around while they were in there. If she can hold these others, oh, darn it, she's just going to run out of time right here before she can get them stuffed in the pen. So, nice job, Becky and Boone. She's going to come out with a score of 180.
Thank you, Becky and Boone.
Yeah.
180
Next, we got Derek
and
Westover
5
and
minutes.
Joe. Then Tina Blinn and H.H. Drew. And then we'll have James Butler and H.R.
up next we have Derek Westover and Joe. He's one of our sponsors for Family Day. So thank you to him for being a sponsor for that. Oh, just to the side of that. There he gets around him. Gets him through the fetch. Gets him through 2. Nice job through 3. Gets through 4. So now he's onto his pin. They're going to go just a little wide. Oh, watch that panel. Just gonna wrap those guys around. And in they go. So he's gonna get his gate. Nice job. 2:59. So I do have the start times for tomorrow, and also the group picture is approximately going to be at 4:30. So please wear your handler shirts, and then the handler dinner and scholarship auction will be at 6:30. So tomorrow our Loyal Life arena will start at 7 o'clock with open cattle. The true Nutrena True arena will start at 7:45 with nursery cattle. The Ultimate Field open sheep will start at 7:30, and then here in the sheep arena we're going to start at 8 o'clock with intermediate sheep. So there's your start times for tomorrow. So a little bit later than today. Okay, Tina Blen and H.H. Drew are up next. Overflanked just a little bit. Gets the fetch. Goes through 2. Just keeping them moving at a nice, easy pace. Ooh, she had one that just snuck by. So she's gonna wrap him back around. Try it again. Nice job through 3. Nice job through 4. They're moving nice and easy though, so she should be able to just use that wing as long as they don't go. They're speeding up just a little bit. Nice job. Oh shoot, 2. Drew got in there just a little bit ahead of those sheep. So she's gonna shut her gate. 4:30.
Nice job, Tina and Drew. Full points of 270 and a time of 4:30. Up next is James and Jesse. Then it'll be Guy and Cap, Stockton and Sticks.
Up next, we're going to have Guy Johnson and Double J Cap. Ooh, just went to the side of that. There we go, gets him through one. Gets him through two. Nice job, 2-3. A little too fast going into that one. Ooh, nice stop. Good job. Nice job. 254. Full points.
All right. Nice job, Guy Johnson and Double J Cap. Score of 270 and a time of 254. Up next.
Yep, Jesse.
Are you ready? All right. Stockton, are you ready? Stockton and Sticks is next.
So up next, we're going to have Stockton White and MISR Sticks. Stockton and Sticks ran in the open sheep earlier, and they finished with, I think, like 4 seconds left, so they got a completed run. So they've been there. This course is a little bit more open for him, so I bet you he's going to put down a pretty fast time. Ooh, just sneaks past that. Oh, this is where you can get in that circle game. You gotta be careful. He's gonna push him and then just hopefully get around him. There we go. Nice job. Again, we want him to come. Now he'll bring him back through. They're gonna go through. Those two are wanting to turn back around. Got one just kind of scattered over here, so he's gonna put them back together. Just get past it. Oh, shoot. He's gonna maybe daylight him through. Oh, they're not even gonna. There he gets it. Good job. Here comes the wind. in Stockton.
Thank you, Stockton and Sticks. Up next,
135.
is that Jesse? Yeah, James and Jesse.
Your relationship is built on trust. Your buddy is with you for work and play from sunup to sundown. And you can trust Nutrena True to deliver nutrient-packed formulas for active dogs like yours. Each bite is TruMune powered for immunity and mobility support, and with support for digestion plus joint, skin, and coat health, trust that they're always protected from the inside out. Find high-quality, hardworking nutrition near you at NutrenaWorld.com/Nutrena True. Nutrena, what's inside counts.
Okay, this is James and Jesse. Went just to the side of that. Split it. There he gets up. So we will be having the handler's dinner. I gets 3. And the scholarship auction starting tonight at 6:30. The handler picture will be at 4:30. So he's going to get 180 in a time of 5.
He's a lot of fun.
For Lorena from Idaho, the National Stock Dog Finals are about good people, fair runs, and a reason to come back year after year.
It's just a big family, so it's always fun to come visit with friends. But then the competition, Steve works really, really hard to have even cattle, so the competition feels pretty doggone fair as it can be.
Catch Lorena and more in Afton, Wyoming at the Mountain State Stock Dog Association Finals. 10 years in and the largest in the country.
Okay, up next we have Shane Ellenwood and Edie, or Eddie. That wind is super annoying. Here comes the sheep. Super fast dog. Nice job. working on his pen. There he goes. He's going to get him. Oh, he had one sneak out. If he can wrap it around. Oh, no, they're going to. They got one that stayed. Oh, come on. There he goes. Nice job for Shane and Edie. Full points.
Nice job, Shane and Edie. That's
Edie.
a score of 270 and a time of 2:46.
2:46.
Up next, we got James and Eve, and then we'll have Derek and Badger.
Can we have James, Butler, and Eve? James is doing a lot of running today. But Eve is ready. So tomorrow we have open cattle round 2, nursery cattle round 2, intermediate sheep and novice sheep both round 2, and then we also have the open sheep in the field event tomorrow. So make sure you tune into those or come down to the fairgrounds. Thursday and Friday we're going to be finalizing those round 2 to see who comes into those short rounds for the championship, and then also we'll have some finals going on Friday. Ooh, just sneaks to the side of that. Gets him through 3, headed to 4. Ooh, just turns. Eve might have went just a little bit too. Just snuck by. Coming up to his pen. Oh, Eve got in there a little bit too close. Oh. don't know if that one's gonna, we'll see. Oh, can't go that way. Doesn't work. Still has about 2 minutes left. Problem about that is it draws them in. Oh shoot. Good. That was a good look though to do that. If those ones would stay. He just about had him in, and then they just decided not to. It's getting short on time. Ooh, there he gets him. Got about 10 seconds left. So close. So 225 is what he's going to end up with.
225. Up next is Derek Westover and Badger. And then it'll be James and /J Hollis. After that is going to be Carter Harris and Hazel. We'll wrap up our.
So next we're going to have Derek Westover and Badger. So we're getting down to the last 3 runs of the day.
For the Harris family, working dogs in Oregon is a way of life. But in Afton, at the National Stock Dog Finals, they found a second home.
First year I showed at finals when I walked in that arena, and it just, it felt like somewhere that I could go and have lots of fun and work my dog and be open.
You won't find a person that won't help you out or tell you a good job or, give you a piece of advice.
Catch Carter and Josh in Afton, Wyoming for the Mountain States Stock Dog Association Finals. 10 years in and the largest in the country. Bring your dog.
This is James, Butler, and Hollis. Kids number 3. Kids 4. Kids 5. Good job, James. 2:45.
Nice job. Full score of 270 and a time of 2:45. Up next, we got Carter Harris and Hazel.
So we're on to our last run of the day. We have Carter Harris and Hazel. He's going to round out this nursery class, round 2. I talked to Carter earlier and he said that his whole goal is just to finish the round. He wants so he can make it to the short round. So we'll see what him and Hazel can get done. Gets one. Gets two. Good job. They're going in there. Nice job, Carter. Headed to number 3. Feels a little too much pressure on him on that third one. Nice job. Good job on 4. Nice job. Say, hustle to your gate. Go in, you guys. Go. Nice job. Nice job, Carter. Way to get it done.
Nice job, Carter. Full points of 270 and a time of 4:44.
4:44. That should be his new. So that wraps up our day today. Again, if you're anywhere around Afton and you want to come down to the scholarship auction, we have that going on tonight. Again, our start times tomorrow: open cattle start at 7, nursery cattle start at 7:45. The ultimate field will start at 7:30, and then intermediate sheep will start at 8 o'clock. So 4:30 is when we're going to do the group picture, so make sure you guys are ready for that. If you're a handler or staff, make sure you're in your shirts and you're on the grass by the grandstands. We'll see you tomorrow.